Welcome to this video training lesson on Web Application Information Gathering. In this video, we are going to see how to gather useful information about our target web application, such as IP addresses, DNS information, hosting, net blocks, operating system, and much more. Moreover, during our information gathering steps, we will note down each finding by using a very popular mind map tool named FreeMind. Let's get started by going into our browser and then open the online tool Whois at the following address, whois.domaintools.com. In the main page of the website, we see a form where we can insert the domain name of our target or its IP address. For our tests, we will use the domain elsefoo.com. So let's type in the domain and click on Search. In the new page, we can see a list of information that Whois is able to retrieve from the Whois records. If we start inspecting the results, we can see that the first item is the registrant organization of the domain, and right after the name of the registrar, which in this case is GoDaddy.com. Since we are starting to gather information that may be useful in later pen testing steps, it is important to store this data and keep it well organized. To do this, let's open our FreeMind tool and start adding the data retrieved. First of all, let's edit the primary node. We will call it elsefoo.com. Now let's go in the top menu and click on the light bulb symbol to add a new child node. Note that you can also add a new node by clicking the Insert tab on your keyboard. So this creates a secondary line, where we will also enter here elsefoo.com, which is one of the actual domains found until now. Now we can add another child here, where we're going to put some general information related to the domain elsefoo.com. So let's create another child node and name it Whois, and then from the Whois node, we can start adding information such as IP addresses, technical details, and so on. So let's go back into our web browser in order to get the data obtained with Whois. For now, let's save some information such as the IP location here and the autonomous system number. So let's copy these two lines and go back to FreeMind. In order to keep the data well organized, we're going to create multiple child nodes for each piece of information we want to store. So one for the IP location and one for the ASN. Now let's create a new node and name it IP. Here we will store the IP information for the domain, such as the net block owner and of course the IP address. Once again, let's go back into our browser and copy this information. So here we have the IP address. Let's copy it and paste it on FreeMind. Let's now copy the register name and paste it in the NetBlock Owner field. Note that we're building the record of these nodes as we are going through the pen testing steps. In the next child node, we will put information regarding the DNS. Under DNS, we can include many items such as name servers, MX server, and other records. So if we switch back to Whois and try to find our name servers, we can see the list here. We can copy them and paste them in FreeMind. Note that Whois also gives us some other useful information about the web application hosted on this machine. Here, for example, we can see the server type, which is IIS 7.5. So here, we can guess that the web app is running under a Windows operating system. but we do not know right now which one. Let us now keep testing the DNS in order to be sure not to miss any important information. We can keep going with our information gathering process by using other tools that are more suitable for querying DNSs. In this video, we will simply use NSLOOKUP to get the information we want. For example, let's suppose we want to retrieve data regarding the MX record, so we will use the following command. Set query type equals MX. Press enter, and then type elsefoo.com and press enter again. As we can see, we have 5 records. Let's copy these records and paste them in FreeMind. Now that we have the MX records, let's go back into our terminal and set the query type to any in order to get all the DNS records. As we can see in the results, some of this data is new, while some others have already been gathered before with Whois. Note that Whois is not the only online tool we can use to gather this information. Indeed, another very useful online tool is Netcraft. Let's open it and see what results it gives us. In order to start our search, let's scroll down a bit and type the target domain in this field on the right. As we can see, we can inspect 2 results, one for the elsefoo.com and one for the www.elsefoo.com. If we inspect the first item by clicking on this small icon, we may be able to get additional valuable information. Here, for example, we have the email address of the DNS admin, while right below, there is some useful information about the operating system and the web server running on the target IP address. Do not forget to store this information in FreeMind. So, we pretty much have our mind map set up to the point of this information that we've been able to gather so far. Now we can save this information, make it a bit more readable, and actually use it for later testing. And this concludes our training video lesson on Web App Information Gathering. Thanks very much for joining us.